Ahoy, all the you YouTube beautiful interwebs people. Today I just wanted to drop my thoughts on the lovely term assault rifle. It's so scary. Um, Looking behind me, you see the Gatorade bottle. Well, if someone bashed my head in with that, that would be an assault bottle. Assault is an action. So, I guess this is an assault shotgun. Because it's magazine fed and black. Um, and the lack of knowledge that people have before forming opinions. I commonly think back to the Steven Crowder little experiment where he had several firearms laid out on a table, an Uzi chambered in 22 LR, um, various rifles, I think AR-15 and 223 or 5.56, whichever, and then maybe a shotgun or two, and then a 30-06. But he had the bullets separate from the firearms, and uh, people who were not gun literate would come up and they would point to the wooden stocked rifles that were chambered in like 30-06 and 308 and say, oh, I'm fine with those. Which those bullets are, you know, 3 to 4 inches long with that can take down large game, medium to large game. And then, but then they point to the black guns, the plasticky or metal, but the Uzi or the AR-15 because they're black and they're scary. Um, they would say no to those, yet they were chambered in like 22 long rifle and 5.56, which people have made so many stupid claims, like the former resident of the White House, Joe Biden, said a 9mm will blow the lung out of a body. Um, I lived in Baltimore for several years, DC. I've lived in high crime areas. I've lived in very low crime areas like State College, Pennsylvania, or Des Moines, Iowa, to suburbs of Chirac. Um, and no, a 9mm will not blow the lung out. At first, you'd have to think how much. Where would the lung go? Like? Does it come out of the mouth? Like, you just the bullet hits you and you vomit out your lung, or does it create such a wound cavity that it somehow pushes the lung out of the? Say you're shot in the chest, and it somehow explodes your back out and blowing the back out, and you it just and he gave amazing advice, which was that all you need is a double-barreled shotgun, and if there's a trespasser on your property and you're alone at night, a small female, he suggests he's giving the scenario of his wife taking a double-barreled 12-gauge shotgun and blasting into the air, which there are so many things wrong with that. First off, 12 gauge is probably for a non uh, shooter is a lot, especially a small framed female. 12 gauge for a guy my size, even after I shoot a couple hundred rounds, is enough for the day. Especially shooting slugs and buck. If you're shooting low brass, softer recoil, less FPS, not that big a deal. It can run essentially all day. But, and that's also with semi-auto or something with a recoil system in it to absorb some of that recoil. A double barrel, all felt recoil is going to go directly into your shoulder. There's nothing to mitigate even the weight of the weapon is not going to mitigate all of that force being directed. And if you don't have it right in the pocket, you're going to possibly bruise, maybe break a collarbone, definitely bruise a muscle, tear a muscle, and that's going to make you afraid of the weapon. So that's why you start with an air gun and then a 22 and you work your way up. I'm currently doing this with my mother, who's planning on homesteading. I got her a Ruger 1022 and a pellet gun, and so we go out in the backyard and we shoot the pellet gun, and then we go out in the woods and we shoot the 1022. And so she's, she can't stomach skinning the tree rats or anything like that. And I also suggested she's on she had pancreatitis and almost died, and she's on a weird diet. She can't eat very much chicken, which is like kind of a staple prepper food. So I suggested guinea pig because in the weight of food required to get it to its full weight for all the protein is a very good return, ROI. And in most countries, I've never actually been out of the U.S., don't really see a reason why to. I've hit every climate zone and been to Texas, Minnesota, seen the Rockies, live in the Appalachians currently. But why would I want to go somewhere where I can't protect myself? The basics of carrying a firearm, pocket knife. 10 years ago, they said after Britain got rid of their guns in the 50s and 60s, they'd laugh at people who were saying, well, eventually it's going to be, knives are going to be or hammers, or if you want to kill someone, there are many ways, but now to get a set of good chef's blades, you have to register them. and 10 years ago, people were making fun of other people who are saying this is the slippery slope, this is where it's going to lead, and now all that has come to fruition. So anyways, like I stated in one of my previous videos, with this device right here, this little, phone appendage that we all have, you could spend not even 10 minutes looking at your favorite platform, whether it be YouTube or TalkTick or even Reddit would probably get it right eventually, or some of the comments would at least get it right, or just Google it. But like I mentioned the Steven Crowder thing, people were fine with the wooden. I think he had a Mini 14 and an AR-15. Both shoot the same bullet. Both are, not getting into the weeds, essentially do the same thing. But yet the wooden stocked with wooden furniture Mini 14 was okay, but yet the black with tactical furniture on it, AR-15, was scary. And the whole term assault rifle is just a made-up term to make it sound scary. AR stands for Armalite. Anyways, please, people, just don't show your lack of knowledge by opening your mouth or spouting nonsense. Just take some time to actually learn about things before you form an opinion. Or, at a minimum, ask someone who, say you have a deeply held belief. Ask someone who has a different deeply held belief and have them explain their reasonings why. And that might actually open your mind, or it might reinforce your opinion, position, belief, whatever. But I'm just asking you to keep an open mind. Now, some things, of course, I'm only referencing certain things here. Obviously, there's a line in the sand that I think everyone should have, like you don't mess with kids, you don't commit evil just for the sake of committing evil. War is hell. So there's unfortunately unnecessary evils that must occur. But we've gotten so good. Like World War II is one of my big areas of study, and we had carpet bombing like Dresden. We razed it to the ground. We dropped so much petroleum product and white phosphorus. We burned solid rock and melted it and killed, 250,000 civilians in a bombing run. It was just a headline. That was it. And now, one person, we have the ability to strike so accurately. We can say the terrorist, I forget, they all sound the same, whatever. They knew which seat he was in the car, and they were able to take him out, and the rest of the people in the car were shook up, but okay, physically. We have that level of precision, and yet people complain and bitch and moan about civilians, and compared to even 50 years ago, we have gotten so good at mitigating civilian casualties. Anyways, this is just, I try and do stream of consciousness and not do scripted content. But if you could do the YouTube things, that'd be cool. If not, you won't be winner. I hate those. If you hit subscribe, you'll have luck for 7 years. That makes me immediately never go back to that channel. But hope y'all are having a great day, better than mine, and you're all worthy of love, worthy of safety, and well, there are a few exceptions, PDF files and things like that, but we won't go down that road. But the vast majority of people are worthy of love, compassion, and a good life. So, thanks. Take care.